Hello, everybody. My name is Lauren Lisa Ng, and I serve as Senior Program Officer at Berkeley School of Theology, where I direct something called the ARC Initiative. And the ARC Initiative seeks the flourishing of Asian American congregations and leaders through the power of stories. We started our programming last year in 2025, and so 2026 marks our second year of offering different opportunities for Asian American congregations and leaders to engage with us. And one of the things that we do each year is the ARC Pilgrimage. This year's ARC Pilgrimage is going to be taking place September 25th to the 27th of 2026 at Manzanar Historic Site in California. I'm very pleased to have two guests with me for this informational session recording. Patricia Allyn Biggs and Mitch Homma, and I'm going to introduce each of them one at a time and then allow them to say hello to you. So first with Patricia, Dr. Patricia Allyn Biggs is a historian and former journalist whose research and writing focuses on the power dynamics of relationships among cultural groups and the way those dynamics change over time. Her 2011 doctoral dissertation analyzed repatriation disputes over Native American cultural artifacts. As an interpretive ranger at Manzanar National Historic Site, she researched the shifting cultural dynamics created by the unconstitutional incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II. Patricia currently serves as a volunteer special advisor to the Amache Alliance Board of Directors and has worked to preserve historic buildings in Granada, Colorado. Patricia, would you like to say hello to everybody?
Yes. Hello. It's good to be here.
Wonderful. Thank you. And then my friend Mitch Homma is a Sansei who works also as an aerospace engineer. He is an Amache descendant who had 3 generations of family incarcerated at the World War II Granada Relocation Center in Colorado. Mitch started volunteering with the Amache Historical Society and still coordinates the newsletters and supports several of their preservation projects. Also, as secretary of the Board of Managers for the American Baptist Historical Society, he works on several history-related educational and preservation projects. Volunteer ABHS Executive Committee responsibilities include strategic plan development and professional standards guidelines for intellectual property protection. He was also recently nominated as a council leader to the U.S.-Japan Council, the USJC. Mitch, would you like to say hello?
Hello, everyone. Blessings.
Wonderful. Thank you. So I'm going to pose questions to Mitch and Patricia, kind of alternating, and we're just going to have a bit of a conversation. So all of you can learn more about what the Manzanar Historic Site is and what our pilgrimage in September might look like. So first, Mitch, the question I have for you is, why should people go on pilgrimages? And then thinking specifically within the Asian American Christian context, what value does pilgrimage have for us as a spiritual practice or even a regular rhythm in our faith journeys?
So I think this is for me, it's a kind of a two-part answer. And first, right, pilgrimage in our Asian culture, it's deeply rooted in our Asian cultures to serve as remembrance and honoring our past. And learning and never forgetting the past helps us grow spiritually and physically. And especially in the spiritual sense, in the Christian spiritual sense, it's an expression of faith, symbolizing the believer's journey towards our fulfillment in serving Christ. And part of this journey is reflection and growing and helping build our faith cornerstones.
Yeah, amen. Thank you so much. Patricia, what is the Manzanar National Historic Site? And can you tell us a little bit more about its history?
Sure. Manzanar was one of 10 places where the U.S. government unconstitutionally incarcerated Japanese Americans during World War II. It was so against our country's better ethics that in 1988, Congress actually called it a grave injustice. And Congress and President Reagan and later President Bush apologized for doing this. That's what led for it to be established as part of the National Park Service. But its history goes back 10,000 years, human habitation. There are indigenous peoples still in that area who can trace their history, back 10,000 years. It's also a microcosm of the American West, the history of the American West, with the displacement of indigenous peoples, the violence between white incomers and those people, water wars. Of course, on top of that, for Manzanar, you put this incarceration camp that was established in 1942.
My next question for you, Mitch, is that you are an Amache descendant. Can you tell us more about what that means? And then what is it like for you when you visit sites like Manzanar?
Yeah, I am an Amache descendant, and as you mentioned in the intro, I had three generations there in Amache, my father, grandparents, and great-grandparents. And my great-grandparents were American Baptist missionaries to the U.S. With respect to Manzanar, so the Homma family was actually supposed to go to Manzanar. Their whole neighborhood in Hotel California went to Manzanar, but Amache, being the last camp built, needed medical staff. And so that's how the family ended up at Amache, as grandfather was a dentist. Going to Manzanar really means a lot to me too, just because not only did I have relatives there, so my grandfather passed away in Amache at the age of 44, and he didn't like the food there, and he didn't eat. And what I was told by other people, if he went with the people in his neighborhood, his friends, it might have been different. And so the whole family dynamics and our family history might have been different if our family went to Manzanar instead of Amache.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Incredible histories. Patricia, the Ark pilgrimage that we're going to be taking to Manzanar is scheduled for this September 25th to the 27th. If somebody registers to attend, what can they expect to experience in our one day that we'll have on site?
So on that one day, we will visit a lot of historic spots on that square mile. We'll start at the sentry posts that were constructed by one of the Japanese Americans who was incarcerated there and still stand today. And it's where people had to check in and out. And it really sets the tone of people didn't come here by choice. We will also go to the cemetery, which was a multi-denominational spiritual effort by people incarcerated there. And the monument there, the Ireto, is iconic in photographs of not just Manzanar, but the broader World War II incarceration. We're also going to go into the reconstructed barracks, the latrines. We'll eat lunch in the mess hall, and you can get an idea of what that was like. And then one of the most beautiful aspects of the site that I think will give people time to discuss quietly and also to ponder on their own what they're thinking and how they're feeling are some of the excavated and restored Japanese rock gardens on that site. And they're gorgeous, and they are really a place where you can feel that spiritual strength, that spiritual presence that exists on that site.
Wow. It's going to be a full day. Really
Yes.
looking forward to it.
Yes, and
Really
it will be
looking
a
forward to
mix
it.
of cerebral, but also just experiential, physical.
Yeah. Okay. It's going to be exciting. Okay. So my last question, and this is for both of you, is if you would please complete the sentence in any way you would like. And the sentence is, I invite you to join us on our pilgrimage to Manzanar because if you do, you will ... So if you do, you will, whoever wants to go first.
Go on, Mitch.
And I would complete that sentence by, you will have an incredible experience, not only reflecting about this dark chapter in our history, but also hearing about the stories that will inspire your faith and it'll change many areas of your life.
Wonderful.
I will agree with Mitch. I will say that if you come on that pilgrimage, you will experience a powerful place that touches almost everyone who visits. And especially toward the end of the day, I plan and hope that we'll end up back at the cemetery. The backdrop of that is the high Sierra Nevadas. And there's a serenity and a spiritual presence there that I think for these people on this pilgrimage will truly be something you don't want to miss.
Wonderful. Well, there you have it, everybody. Many compelling reasons to join us this September 25th to 27th on our pilgrimage to Manzanar Historic Site. I want to thank both Patricia and Mitch for being here today and answering these questions for us. And I want to remind all of you as viewers to visit us at BST, that stands for Berkeley School of Theology, bst.edu, and then you can toggle over to ARC Initiative. You'll see a tab that says the ARC Initiative, and there you will find more information as well as a link to register to attend this scrimmage. I think we're also going to drop a QR code here at the end of the video in case you're finding this video in some other way, and that QR code will take you to our website as well. We do invite Asian American congregations and leaders to attend this pilgrimage, but I want to be clear, you do not need to identify as Asian American to join us. All are welcome to join us, and just as long as, we just want you to embrace and want to help us promote the objectives of the ARC Initiative, which is to help Asian American congregations and leaders thrive through the power of stories. So thank you again for joining us on this video. We do hope to see you in Manzanar this September. Take good care and God's blessings.